For the online student, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes. But then I don't know whether you all have took the permission to join via online from student registration. First of all, but like if you have that kind of concern, inform to student registration and then log into the session via online. From my end, I don't have any like kind of objection, right? First, you need to inform to the registration department. Amaya, did you inform?
Madam, I have put a email. I called twice on Friday also, but no one answered.
To Miss Shashinika.
Yeah.
You are the one who dropped me the email, but let me check. I
Yeah,
guess. All right,
yeah.
okay. Right. So then what about Nishan Bhute?
Yes,
you
madam, I
inform?
have. Yes, madam, I have.
You have received the permission also, right?
Yes, madam.
Right, okay. Now I have asked them to do this activity, but I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Right?
madam.
So here now we are not doing it as a group activity. This is an individual activity. From your end, but just do this activity, and once you finish, inform me or like directly. Just take a photo of your answer and upload to the LMS. I have created kind of a folder in the LMS. I have labeled it as in-class activity. Once you finish it, get a photo and convert it to PDF and upload it to the LMS. Okay?
Okay, madam. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
No problem. But you also have an idea. Select a proper company. That is the important thing. The company which you will needs it to analyze. If the company का corona place एक corona to other country අද වෙලා ඉන්නවා. මගේ charge එකේ laptop එක charge එක low වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මට මේකෙන් log වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේක battery එක down වුණා. ප්‍රශ්න නැහැ. email එකේ තමයි link එක තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි මිස්ටර් ඒකට log වෙන්න දාලා ගොඩක් ඉස්සරහ කරගෙන ඉන්න charge එකක් මම ගා දෙන්න දෙන්න. මේකට හරියන එක තියනවද? ඔව්. thank you. ඇසිස් එකක් තිබුණා. හරි. For example, let's assume if we consider short time basis, I know for one limited time, we cannot write down everything. In that case, just figure out one of the four steps that they have and list down maybe 3 or 4 factors. Maximum write down 4 factors. Depending on the serious and the right? Then move on to weakness and identify maybe 2, 3 or 4 weaknesses and list down. Maximum 45 minutes. About the time that's what I've also. So it is to start the otherwise you have to this 45 minutes.
මට මේක සෙට් වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මන්ද ඇසුස් එක සීවත් නැත්නම් නැහැ
අපි බලමු මේක පුළුවන් තරම් වෙලා official official namanya. If you want to clarify anything, ask no see. Tapparයක් දෙනවද මං ෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ් එකෙක්? attention please. Here I have not separately mentioned you need to conduct stakeholder analysis, but you need to do, right? So I guess you all know about this power interest matrix. We have done it, right? So first identify the main stakeholders and group them under for those categories, right? There are some stakeholders we need to closely monitor. If their power and interest both are high, then we need to closely monitor. Right? If we consider chartered institute, students are kind of main stakeholders, one of the main stakeholders. Then we need to closely monitor them. So in that way, you need to identify who are the stakeholders and how we have to manage them. You all can go through the notes. We have discussed all these things. Stakeholder power interest matrix. Those are the strategies that we can apply based on the nature of the stakeholders. බලලා ඕගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන විදියට ඒක කන්ක්ලූඩ් කරන වාක්‍යයකින් දෙකකින් as a leader, as a manager. නිකන් අර ඒක ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඇනලයිස් එකක් කරනවා ටීචර්ස් එක ඔබවන්නේ කරන්නේ. එතනින් එහාට ගිහින් කමෙන්ට් එකක් දාන්න එකක් දෙක මේන් ඉන්සයිට්ස් ටික highlight කරන විදියට. Another example, while you are doing the activity listening, now need to pay attention. When you are engaging with these vacancies 7 days, based on the results of the analysis, comment what are the resources that organization can use to achieve competitive advantages? What are the unique resources that you feel if they use these resources, yes, the organization can achieve competitive advantage. In that way, just add your comment at the end of each framework. Take a look over the paragraph by maximum 2 to 3 sentences. Conclude your comment. You all have only another 15 minutes. ගොඩක් අය පන්තිල නෑ ඉතින් තිබුණාට මම කිව්වා නම් එහෙම assignment එකක් කියන එක ඒ කියන්නේ assignment එකක් නොවන විදියට කතා කරලා තිබුණා නම් බහුතරයක් අද මෙතන නෑ. අතනම ඒක නෙමෙයි purpose එක class එකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගෙන්න ගැනීම නෙමෙයි. So you are not doing these things if I just only ask you all to do. Photo එක PDF එක. For the online students in the sense the students who have joined via online, now you all also but they complete the activity and take a photo of it, convert it to PDF, and if you all have done it in a kind of a soft copy, right? If you all have typed it, so then what you can do with them is just upload the answer to the LMS now. If it is a soft copy, convert it to PDF and upload it to the LMS. If it is a photo, then again convert it to PDF and upload it to the LMS.
Okay, madam.
But now complete. middle level management, senior level management, and the owner, so the CEO level, right? Now they are going to install this SAP system or SAP ERP. Who will show the resistance towards this change? But I'm asking the level, operational level, middle level, senior level managers, or the CEOs and the top level managers. What do you think? According to your understanding, how do you resist either? Lower level, middle to senior level managers, middle to senior level employees, or top level? Lower level, middle level. Let me check. Who are telling yes, it's lower level or the operational level employees? Then who are telling I will use the term executives. We can be like managers, including senior executives, assistant managers, senior level managers, basically all the executives. What are telling it's executives? Right, okay. I will include these top level managers also into the category of executives. Most of you all have mentioned the resistance mostly like coming from this operational level, non-executive level. You all have mentioned. Right? I have only received one answer. No, it's from the executive category. Right? Let me check with you already why you all have mentioned yes, we can expect more resistance from the lower level of the operational level employees, non-executive. I will use the term non-executive. Do you have any justification for your answer? Do you have justification that you have, like why you have mentioned it as it is from non-executives? Any idea? Why you have mentioned it as I don't think so, right? Yes. And then decide what can be the category. So here before moving on to show the justification for the answer, and I will show whether it's about executives or the non-executives. Before moving on to that, write down a small title, change management. Change management. Still we are in leading or handling strategic change. Under that chapter, write down a subtitle, change management. small explanation for change management. It is the process of, identifying change requirement, coordinating change activities, implementing change, managing and controlling, managing or maintaining and controlling change and taking necessary actions to sustain the change within the organization. So you can see it's a process with it. Identification, maintaining, then sustaining, all these things are coming under change management. Right? So let me show you all that relevant slide, then decide. Read this. How does position and perception influence a view of change as negative or positive? Read this and again think about your answer. You all have mentioned, most of you all have mentioned it's from the resistor, mostly coming from the non-executive level. Read this. These are some facts that I have included based on some already conducted analysis research, right? Research in the sense basically based on some discussions. Do you all have any kind of a change for the answer that you all have already provided? You all have mentioned it as non-executive system. It's a kind of a mixed picture here. We cannot exactly mention it's executive or non-executive. We need to analyze this particular factor in detail, right? Because I am telling, sometimes I have received some acceptable level answers also when it comes to the executives, right? So they are giving very kind of a attention to their position. They are trying to protect their position and they are trying to perform and they are trying to level up their position in their career level. Right? When there's this kind of change, right? If they are not that much of, I don't like to use digital toxic, just imagine if the person is not the person who is quickly adapting to the technological changes, right? And imagine that particular person also in the executive level. Executive level is in a technology level, right? Always in his or her mind, what is there? They need to perform well. They need to protect the position. right? So they are like always thinking about how I can perform well. When there's this kind of a change with them, since there are like some issues with the capability of the personality, even though they are in the executive level, fear of losing the position, fear of losing the promotions, they may show the system. We cannot exactly mention it's non-executives. Right? Yes, non-executives also, the thing is that you all have mentioned when it comes to the non-executives, they are the ones who are like entering this data into the systems. Yes, that is true. Right? But still, the executives also will be making lots of strategic decisions based on the results of these ERP systems. Right? So in that case, we cannot exactly mention it's non-executive or executives. We need to carefully analyze the impact of this ERP system transformation or the installation for the executive and the non-executive. Overall, when there's a change, right? So there's a huge impact for the emotions, and employees are really paying attention about this fear about losing positions. Change consultant විදිහට කරනවා විදිහට වැඩිට කරගන්න බැරිනේ මගේ performance අඩුනේ performance අඩු වුණාම මගේ evaluations වලට කැටුනොත් right? So we need to be really careful when we are like suggesting, when we are like going to implement changes. Always we need to give higher attention to the emotions of the employees and the perceptions, especially when we are handling these changes. As leaders, we need to have customized strategies to lead executives and non-executives because their perceptions and the way that they are thinking are different. Right? So then, that's another important thing that I want to share with you all. Right? Let me like explain this area, then I will give you the break. Then we can move on to this chapter. There are important areas that I want to discuss before the break. As a leader, when we are in the process of leading a change, right? We need to give attention to basically mainly for 3 areas. One is communication, right? We need to properly communicate why we need to change. It's a kind of a mandatory requirement. This is the reason why we have to make this change. Communication is a model role of breaker. It should be really clear, it should be to the point, right? It should present the reason for the change. Why me? Not the what. Always leaders are focusing what to do, right? What is the change? But along with that, we need to inform why this change. Right? What are the benefits that our stakeholders can perceive from this change? If you are not going with this change, what can be the repercussions? What can be the consequences? Why? Right? Therefore, then not only that, as leaders, we need to show the commitment. Here, like 3 C's. I will come to this model later on. Commitment. Right? We need to show our commitment also. Not only like just allocating the task to our subordinates, we also need to show the commitment and we also need to take the commitment from others also. Other thing, we need to encourage the collaboration. Change එකක් කියනකොට නිතරම isolate වෙන්න නොදී we need to encourage collaboration. And because like if you realize that some of the employees are getting isolated with this change, right? So think twice with it because if they feel like getting isolated, then they are not going to show their what you call the acceptance towards the change, right? As well as if they want to go with the change individually, again there can be some issues, but if you can show them that yes, we are here to support you, the collaboration is there, collaborative culture is here, we are here to support all of them, so then sometimes they may willingly accept the change. These 3 C's are really important when you are in the process of managing the team, communication, commitment and the collaboration. I have a small note on this because of the examination I made here. that leaders need to consider, that leaders need to consider, that leaders need to consider ineffective change leadership. Ineffective change leadership. Ineffective change leadership. Then the logos write down these three factors: commitment, collaboration, and communication. So in the collaboration, other benefit that we can expect today, we are like actively take the participation of our all the subordinates, and then they know who they are, why this change is happening, right? So how we have to proceed with the change. Collaboration එක ඇතුලේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉන්නකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ට clear picture එකක් එනවා change එක ගැන. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ resistance එක ඉන්නම අඩුයි. Here, right? Next today we are going to discuss about two theoretical frameworks that we can use to manage this change. Right? So now you all know what is change management. As a leader, when we are leading a change, what are the factors that we need to consider? Okay, if we need to have like kind of effective change leadership, then we all need to think about these three factors: communication, proper communication, maintaining a collaborative culture within the organization, and commitment. Here, these two models are important for the examination purpose and in the practical context of it. So you all can apply these two frameworks. One framework is named as Levin's change model. Another thing is Potter's 8-step model. First, we will see what is this Levin's change model. I will explain with this an example. Right? When it comes to the Levin's change model, basically we can find three steps, right? Three steps. So first step is unfreezing, right? Freeze like unfreezing. Then we are like going to the implementation part of the change, that means changing phase, changing stage, and then refreezing, or freeze them, right? So let me explain with an example. Just imagine today the organization is going to add a new product version to its existing product portfolio. That means product portfolio is about consumables. Now they are moving on to add pharmaceutical items to their product portfolio. Right? With consumables, huge change, and now they are moving on to these pharmaceutical items also. Right? So now they're thinking about what kind of framework that they can use to manage this particular change requirement, right? So just imagine that if they are going to apply this Levin's change model, first what they need to do is they need to unfreeze their employees. Technical level staging, unfreezing, right? Unfreezing in the sense that now at the moment they are really comfortable with the existing product portfolio and the strategies and the policies. They are comfortable. Please are comfortable, so only active. Right? So now we need to unfreeze them today. We need to show them that yes, that is true. Now we are we are only delivering consumables, but if we want to generate more profit, and if we want to expand the market, we need to move on to a totally different product. So we need to go with this change. Change that's why it's explaining to the recognition that existing ways are no longer appropriate and that change is needed. We need to justify why this change is needed. तो refreeze करना, again, not refreeze, unfreeze करना. Sorry. So first we need to emphasize, yes, we need to go with this change. If we are not going with this change, so these negative consequences may arise, right? So we need to now move from the comfortable zone and we need to accept this change. Get a mind and other unfreeze करना. Comfortable zone लेके एलियन freeze and accept, right? So then the second step is about changing, right? So here now we are actually going with the change, right? That's why it's saying selection of an appropriate and promising approach for change. So now we are gathering data, then we are identifying, gathering data in the sense we are collecting all the details related to the competition, pricing, costing, and the marketing strategies to introduce this product, everything, right? And I'm processing it immediately. Then just imagine that now we have even the implementation part also coming under this change phase. Not only the background work of the change, even the implementation part of the change also coming under changing phase. Now assume that they have implemented change. So my accept then now they have implemented, but still there are different challenges, resistance are there. So now they are managing them, right? Again for this, I have mentioned in terms of change management, identification, maintenance, coordination of change requirements are not sufficient. As leaders, we need to think about how we can sustain that particular change within the organization. Sustain that. In the rephrasing, what we are doing today, as leaders, we need to make necessary decisions and we need to execute different strategies to rephrase these employees with the implemented change. Resistance may change it. Now just assume we have introduced the new product to the market. Now we have already done it. Right? Now we cannot reverse it. Now we cannot change anything. We have to deal with this change. So now we are rephrasing our employees, all our stakeholders' mindset. Yes, this is performing. We are performing with the new product. And we have to have more feedback and we need to deal with this change. Rephrase them. I may change it to comfortable product. Right? Rephrase. Right? So these are the three main steps of this Levin's management or Levin's change model. Write down these three stages and put a remark to it for the examination, since this is a theoretical framework and be tested. In the examination, probably you all have to explain these three phases with an example. When you are studying also these three phases, try to always study this framework with an example. එවෙලෙම මේක ඉවරයි. level 3 කතා හිතට ගන්නකොටම example එකක් එක්ක ඔළුවට ගන්න, then you can apply the same thing in the examination also. about change, some kind of a change related to HR policies, change that possibility, like we need to incorporate that particular HR policy change within the organization's culture. Re-fiscal. ඒක organization culture එක accept කරන විදිහට අපි accept කරනවා. Right? Re-fiscal. Right, okay. So let me like discuss the last model. It's about Potter's 8-step change model. Really easy to understand today, right? There are 8 steps, that's why it's Potter's 8-step change model. So here you can see the first step is create a sense of urgency. That means that we need to show our stakeholders that this change is compulsory and this is urgent. If we are not quickly adapt to the change, definitely we will lose the market or we will face lots of negative consequences. So we need to show them that quickly we need to adapt to the change. So if not, these are the negative consequences. Right? And building a guiding coalition in the sense, we have to develop a team to initiate what are the change requirements, and basically that is the team which is providing the guidance towards this change. Guiding coalition කියන්නේ team එකක් ඉන්නවා, ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි initiate කරලා change එකේ strategies ටික ඔක්කොම initiate කරලා communicate කරලා they are the ones who are leading the change. Right? We need to create a team for this guiding coalition, to guide the change also. Developing a team. Sorry. Form a strategic vision and initiatives. Right? Basically, we need to have a purpose of change. So we need to have a clear idea. This is the reason why we are changing. At the end of this change, we can achieve this objective. Right? Then enlist a voluntary army. That means we need to encourage all the stakeholders to voluntarily participate with the change. Right? Then enable action by removing barriers. You all can understand that we need to identify what are the barriers, challenges existing towards this particular change. Once we identify them, we need to remove it. Then generate short-term visibility. That is very important in order to maintain the motivation of our stakeholders. Here I am using the term stakeholders instead of subordinates. When there is a change, we need to consider about all the stakeholders, not only the employees. Right? So here, if we consider the whole process of change, it's better to demarcate some key milestones. Right? Once we reach that key milestone and once we achieve the success related to that particular key milestone, it's better to celebrate it. Generate short-term wins. Then our stakeholders are getting motivated and they are having a positive attitude now, okay? So next milestone also we can easily reach. So these are the benefits. So celebrations are important in order to maintain the motivation. Right? Then sustain acceleration. Right? Institute the change. That means we need to implement change and we need to think about how we can sustain the change. Here no need to write down these 8 steps for them. But put a remark for the examination again. This model can be tested. Right? Put the slide number. Slide number is 34. And write down Potter's 8-step model can be tested in the examination. Again, you need to explain these all steps with an example. I'm always looking for the application. These things you all can read, right? So how change impacts the team. this I will explain this framework after the break, right? So now you all can take the break. After the break, I will explain this framework. But you all can leave. ලෙක්චර් මැටීරියල් ටික ගන්න පුළුවන්ද පුතේ? මම සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ඉඳගත්තා. එහෙනම් ඒ ටික බලන්න. ඒගොල්ලොත් එක්ක මම පාස් පේපර්ස් ගණන් හදලා තියෙනවා. නෝට් එක ඉල්ල ගන්නකො. නෝට් එක බේස් කරගත්තම ඇති. පාස් පේපර්ස් ගන්නවා නෝට් එකේ මේගොල්ලෝගේ තියෙන මම පාඩම ගණන් හදන්න තියෙන ඒවාට පාස් පේපර්ස් එකට අදාළ කැල්කියුලේෂන්ස් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ ටිකත් එක්කම ඉල්ල ගන්න. අර පාස් පේපර් දෙක මිස් නේ. ඔව් ඒ දෙක එකයි. අනිත් ඒවා චන්දන සර් හදපුවානේ පුතේ. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ ෆෝමැට් එකත් එක්ක චුට්ටක් අවුල් යනවනේ. 16C weekday 16CD weekday එකයි 16C weekend එක ගන්න හරි. නෝට්ස් ටික 17A එකෙන් ගන්න. 17A එකෙන්. ඔව්. ඒ ටික බලාගත්තම ඇති. එහෙම නෝට් එකෙන් පිට දේවල් අහන්න නැහැ. විසි ගණන් වල මම මතක විදිහට තියෙන ඉස්සු එනවා හරි. Don't write down this point, but I will explain them. Don't write down. Okay, Pute. So yes, I guess now we can start. Here, I will explain some important points that we need to consider when we want to have a kind of effective change leadership. Here I'm delivering some points that you all need to consider if you want to lead the change in an effective manner. Right? So again I'm repeating. So here I will explain some important factors that you all need to consider, right, when you are in the change leadership process or leading the change, right? So one thing would always, when we are in the process of leading the change, right, we need to consider that, right, when we are making decisions, when we are executing different strategies, always we need to keep in our mind, right, the emotion aspects of the people. That is really important because that's why practically when it comes to the changes, I have mentioned that even though the change is really good, even though it's generating positive consequences, still there are some employees, some stakeholders who are showing the resistance. Right? Because always this resistance is linked with the emotions. Right? That's the emotional impact on these changes. Always when we are making decision, we need to make decision while considering all the involved people plus their emotional status. ඉතින් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔන්නට ගන්න change එකක් execute කරන තැනදී මේ change එක නිසා මේ stakeholders ගේ emotions වලට මෙන්න මේ විදිහට impact වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට resist කරයි. Sometimes you all may realize that okay, the emotional stability of this employee is this, so he or she may accept it. Right? So other than you put it, first point done. Other thing that we need to accept when it comes to changes, especially when we are going to apply the changes to the teams, okay, we need to understand that it takes time getting with it. In order to adapt to the change, in order to access the change, in order to expect higher performances from the team to this, first thing that we need to understand, yes, it takes time. Right? It's a slow process with it. To grab the new things, to adapt to the change requirements, it takes time. Right? That particular point also always we need to keep in our mind. Otherwise, what will happen is when we are like going to see immediate performances from the teams, then there can be lots of conflicts. We need to, as leaders, we need to understand that yes, this is a change. So in order to adapt to this change, it takes time, and you need to allow them to adapt to the change and perform accordingly. Right? Another point. Then always we need to maintain regular communication, because the important thing of this maintaining regular communication is when we are like directly communicating with our employees, they are like delivering their issues and things, okay? So then we can give the solutions. Always we need to show them that they are to help them and they are not isolated. So how? Especially we need to always communicate why this change is important. Why can Russia change? It's really important. Why? If you are not going to change, this is the thing. What will happen? So like you need to explain what will happen if you are not going with the change. Right? Then you can simply like provide direction. It's easy to understand. Then we need to always listen to employees. Listen to employee also one part of the communication again. And another important thing was that we need to recognize the performances of the employees when they are in the change process. Last point, it's better to always follow people-oriented leadership style when there's a change. You all have learned two types of leadership orientation, leadership styles. One is task-oriented, that means that always the leaders are giving attention for the goals, target, and basically for the operation. But when it comes to the people-oriented leadership, always leaders are giving attention to the requirements of the people, employees. Since this change is linked with emotions, linked with people, it's better to always follow a people-oriented leadership. Then only they realize that so the leader is there to help them, and it's really helpful for the leaders to maintain proper relationship. So here today it's better to write down this important. I have summarized the points which you all can find in all these slides. Decision making with people in mind, how to practice people-oriented leadership. I will explain this slide later on. First, write down as subtopic for the factors influence factors influence the role factors influence the role of the leader in change process. The factors influence the role of the leaders in the change process. Influential factors. Factors influence. So it's a kind of a title, right? Then under that, write down together the first point. It is required to make decisions. Under that, I will write down. It is required to make decisions always with people in mind. And need to consider emotional impact. I need to consider emotional impact on employees. leadership side. People-oriented education always we need to give attention to employees' requirements. We need to make them realize that the leaders are there for their, like leaders are there for basically leaders are there in order to help them, in order to support them, in order to provide the direction. Then write down the third point. Maintain regular communication. Maintain or maintaining regular communication and always emphasize the reason for the change requirement. Reason for the change requirement. Then write down try to understand comma okay, yes, just because I have mentioned factors, if it is try to understand, then you already get confused. Continue. Try to understand this. Continue. Understanding that change is a process and change is a process. It's not just one function. We cannot quickly finish. Change is a process and it takes considerable time to adapt with the change. It takes considerable time to adapt to the or adapt with the change. Then the last point, provide step-by-step directions. Provide step-by-step direction. Step-by-step direction to the employees. And give regular feedbacks. On their performances. Yes, right? So that's it, and let me explain this diagram. From your input, first pay your attention for this diagram, then I will explain these 7 aspects, right? First give the attention and try to understand. This is vertical axis is for self-esteem and the horizontal axis for the time. Self-esteem in the sense that how much we are valuing ourselves, okay? How much like we give kind of a value to ourselves. අපි කොච්චර අපි ගැන වටිනවා කියලා අපි හිතන් ඉන්නවද අපේ capabilities ගැන අපිට තියෙන evaluation එක. self-esteem, right? So then the horizontal axis is for the time. Try to understand first, then I will explain. First read this. Don't give that much of attention for these terms with the immobilization, depression, minimization. Try to give your attention for the explanations. Don't try to understand the terms. When we are leading the companies, when there are changes, but we need to understand this cycle. This is the way how individuals are behaving when there is a change. ඒකයි අපි මේක තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. You can see if we consider the self-esteem. Now I am taking your attention to the point where it's explaining this immobilization. Just assume. So we are considering about an employee's behavior in relation to a change. එක employee කෙනෙක්ගේ behavior එක අපි consider කරන්නේ change එකකට අදාළව. Right? Just think the organization is going to change their dress code policy, right? That is the change. Okay. So here you can see as rumors of the change circulate. Rumors in the sense rumors of the change circulate. The individual feels some sense of shock and possible disbelief, so much so that they deem it worthy of doing nothing. Here for the right, you can see still they are not in kind of a negative perception, right? Zero. Here this is negative and this is positive. Negative perception, like think like that. Okay. So here like still they are like trying to understand. So what is the change? What is going on? Is that so? Is that true? Still there's a question mark in their mind regarding the change. Immobilization. Immobile, not mobilize. Right? Trying to understand, right, what is happening. Then you can say that when it comes to the minimization, you can say gradually, when it comes to the self-esteem, gradually it's increasing. Right? There what it's saying, as the change becomes clearer. Now the employee knows what is the change, why it's happening. And it's clear. People try to fit in the change with their own personal position and may try to believe that it will not affect them. That's why they gradually self-esteem is increasing. They believe that there is no impact towards their positions, towards their behavior, towards their performances. Right? They feel that there is no negative effect or impact on them. Then you can see when it comes to the depression, stage of depression, the self-esteem is gradually declining. It's decreasing. Right? When it comes to here, depression, it's like explaining as reality begins to down, staff may feel alienated and angry, feelings of lack of control. Here basically once they are actually in the change, right? Sometimes they feel that they cannot control some situations, right? They cannot perform them, they cannot adapt to the change. Right? Then clear now, then change එකත් එක්ක යනකොට ටිකක් struggle කරන ටිකක් අල්ල ගන්න අමාරුයි. right? Negative perception. Acceptance, letting go, the lowest point of self-esteem. Finally, these people starting to accept the invisible. Now, like they don't have any other option. They have to accept the change. එයාගේ self-esteem එක ගැන පැත්තකට දාලා now he or she has to accept it. There's no any other option. Refreezing the change, right? Then you can see again gradually this self-esteem is with the time being gradually now again self-esteem is increasing. In the testing out you can see individuals begin to interact with the change. Now like they are trying to actively engage with the change. That's why the option is they need to interact with the change, right? They start to ask questions now like they are actively participating in the change and clarifying the relevant issues, right? How they might work with the change. So if I apply this cycle to the Levin's change model, if we consider this immobilization, minimization, right? Those are coming under unfreezing stage, right? Then when it comes to the depression, acceptance, testing out, these are coming under the stage of the phase called change. Actually, they are implementing the change. Then search for meaning and internalization. Internalization in the sense now he or she is accepted the change and it's kind of a normal routine, day-to-day routine of that particular employee's life. Internalize වෙනවා. එයා ඒකටම adapt වෙනවා. ඒකත් එක්කම යනවා. හැමදාම කරන දේ බවට පත් වෙනවා. Refreezing. Right? So this is kind of a cycle for the no, I am not going to check in the examination. Right? But here what you want to take to your mind is something like this. When we are in the process of leading a change with it, always we are interacting with people. This is how people are behaving when it comes to change. We cannot expect quick performances from the teams, quick performances from the individuals. It takes time to get that cycle. Right? So this cycle may like vary based on different personalities, but that's a cycle. It takes time. Pick apart and performance expect that can be lots of issues. Right? We need to understand this. And the last part, right? No need to like put any kind of a remark in relation to this diagram. Here, there are like some tips that you all need to take into your mind when you are leading a change for this. We are calling them as principles of leading change or change leadership. Are basic principles. When we need to lead a change as a manager leader, we need to pay attention to these factors. Effective leadership and some principles. Right? State your case. That means that I will explain, no need to like think about the terms over there. State your case in the sense we need to emphasize our stakeholders that this change is a must. Simply state your case. We need to emphasize all the stakeholders that this change is a compulsory, is a must. We need to emphasize. Then take it from the top. As the leader we need to first accept the change. Without accepting the change from our end, we cannot ask our stakeholders to accept the change. We accept the change. Right? Then don't forget about little guys. When we are in the changes, if we are only giving the attention for the main stakeholders and if we are going to miss some minor level or lower level stakeholders for them, right? Again there can be issues. Employees we need to consider. Then provide ownership. We need to develop some sub-tasks related to changes and we need to give responsibilities for our stakeholders in relation to those tasks. Ownership, they are getting motivated. Then last 2 points. What is this subtle changes? That means that and there will always be surprises as leaders. We need to accept that when we are in the change process, there can be sudden, spontaneous occurrences, and we need to give solutions for those surprises also. We need to expect surprises, right? So again, no need to write down anything. This is for your information only, right? So with this further, then we can conclude the chapter number 4. Right? We have only another 2 chapters. I will give 5 minutes to go through the notes and see is there anything that you need to clarify. So then we can actually start chapter number 5 and what is the time now? So from this chapter itself we are going to complete the areas related to leadership. There are only 2 chapters related to innovation and creativity. Right? Chapter number 5 and 6. We need to discuss about the group assignment also today. Next week we will discuss. Next week we didn't discuss the schedule for the month of March, right? Yes, so like today is second, we are having a physical lecture. Then 9th of March, we all do not have physical lectures. The cover-up session will be scheduled on 11, 7:30 to 9:30 online. Right? Then yes, 16. You all have to participate in physical lectures. Then again 23rd, you all do not have physical lectures, right? So instead of 23rd, we are going to have the lecture on 25th, 7:30 to 9:30 via online. There's a small issue with 30th today. Sumaya and 18A extension with the coordinator today. So I will inform about the 30th lecture within next week today. So in that case we will discuss. Then another plan second, yes, we had this physical lecture. Then 9, no lectures physical. 11, we are having an online session from 7:30 to 9:30. 16, it's a physical session. Then 23rd, no physical lectures. 25th, we are having the cover-up session for 23rd from 7:30 to 9:30 online. 30th, I will inform. Let me do a small activity with you all for the. So do you all need to clarify anything regarding this change management? Basically, if I quickly take your attention for the areas that you all need to consider for the examination. Here and there I have mentioned, right? Make mulindan gattama. You all should know how to explain what is a strategic change, right? One main thing that you all need to understand, right? You all need to explain, you all need to have the cognitive ability to explain what is a strategic change, right? What is a strategic change? Then how we can identify the change requirement, That means it's about this business environmental analysis, right? Then nature of the business environment and the analytical frameworks that we can use to analyze this business environment in order to understand the change requirements, right? Then kind of planning approaches that we can use to analyze or that we can use in turbulent business environment. මේ තුන ගැන. Contingency planning, building scenarios, crisis planning. These are planning approaches or planning tools. Then this Levin's change management model, Kotter's 8-step model, these 3 C's. Yes, that's it. For the examination purpose, or you can right? Let me show you all a picture. Try to define it. Okay, but so here you all can see a picture image and you all can find a picture. Take your book and interpret what you all can see in this picture. How you all are going to interpret this? You need to like write down. You all are going to tell me the answer later. I don't tell you. So if not, at least write down the interpretation in your book. See. I'm checking if you are reading it and just showing the picture and I'm asking what is this. I'm thinking how I analyze this. But it's not. answers explain like this, right? So what you all have mentioned, majority of you all have mentioned, here and there I have received some different answers also. Most of you all have explained. That's the leader is red color small paper board. Not it's small, like compared to other boards it's just big. Right, and other small white color boards are the followers, and the red color board is giving the direction, and other small white color boards are following the leader. Right? Right, Putri? Like none of you have mentioned about the sea, right? And there are waves, and they have to balance and like have a very what do you call it? So these are paper boats, right? In a kind of how could I say, in the sea or in a river, right? If you all need to become creative, always don't only limit it to the traditional framework or the usually we have a pattern of thinking, right? ඔය ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉනිතාවේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ තමයි leadership පාඩම ගන්නන්නේ, right? Red color board එකකුත් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ චොට්ටුටි white color small boards එකකුත් තියෙනවා. ටම්කාරමින් කරලා leadership එක. I have received another answer also, like he mentioned that can we write vice versa also put it. So make it a path එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියන්න බෑනේ. Sometimes these whiteboard's direction can be this side, and that red color board may like follow the white color boards also. That is also possible. You can buy a bullet at the pack of Barala, make it a minister and make it a method. You are connected. Right? So I'm going to start chapter number 5. It's about creativity and idea generation. Always, if you want to be creative, think out of the box. None of you have mentioned about the waves of the sea and how you all have, like how we have to think when there are waves, so we can recognize waves as challenges. Again, Q and R traditionally that will be Q. That is not like I cannot tell it's wrong. That is correct, right? So there's no any correct wrong answer. But what I have felt, like you all are into kind of a framework, and traditionally you all are explaining the scale and material, right? So, but when it comes to the leadership with it, creativity is kind of a must skill, or like it's a very impactful skill. We'll discuss in detail about this creativity next week, right? So I'm not going to start the chapter. I know that if I started and if I give one explanation, again I need to give that explanation next week also. So with this, then we will wind up the session for today. I will start creativity and idea generation next week. Right? We don't have lectures next Sunday physically. We have online session. Right? Okay, thank you.